You know what's really important in your golf game? Warming up. So what I've got in store for you today is some simple warm-up routines for you to do. This is actually about warming your body up prior to actually going out and even swinging a golf club, so that you know what you need to be doing. These are going to be such simple mobility exercises just to help get that body moving and getting it prepared for play. I've asked one of my yoga instructors to come and do a video for us and show us some very simple mobility exercises. So don't go anywhere, we're going to show you that straight away. Well, we've got something really exciting for you today. We're going to be working through a routine that's going to really help you get more stability and balance and mobility into your golf, because it's really important that you actually look after your body. And I know, like, from personal experience, when I first started yoga, which is about 18 months ago, prior to that, because, you know, as our bodies get older, they stiffen up. Kim hasn't experienced that yet because she's a young chick. But as you get older, as you know, the body starts to stiffen up. So when I started yoga, I noticed a big difference with my body responding a lot better and less stiff, and, you know, I feel quite agile now, 18 months down the track. So I've asked lovely Kim here, so hi Kim.
Hey, how are you guys?
To come and show you something that can help improve your mobility for when you're out playing golf. And she's absolutely awesome yoga instructor. I love coming to her classes because they're unique. She gives you a lot of technical stuff as well to help you improve your body. So Kim's actually going to take us through a routine, and she's going to talk us through it. So get your yoga mat out and get ready, because we're going to go through it. So hi Kim.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good. So what are you going to be doing for us today?
So I'll go through basically most of the basics of where you get tight most often, and the things that doctors like to tell you to get surgery for later on. So maybe a bit of wrist, bit of shoulder, upper back mobility, and a little bit of the hips and legs, because that's kind of where you get your swing from. But most of all, that's where we get really, really tight from, even if you have a couple of weeks of no mobility work. So,
okay, all right. So let's go to it.
all right, sweet.
I'm going to be walking around us, so.
So the first thing I'll focus on is just a little bit of wrist warm-up. So I do this in our classes sometimes when we're doing a lot of arm balances, but essentially it's perfect for grip strength, because if there's too much tension there, you're going to lose that grip strength right away. So we'll start with just creating a little flicks just to warm up the wrist before we start to create that mobility. So it starts to warm up quite quickly, and you keep flicking it and try and race with anyone around you, and you keep going faster, 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 faster for 3, 2, and 1, and then you give it a little shake. Cool. And then we'll start to do a little bit of wrist mobility. My favorite one of all time is just simply placing the fingers facing backwards. And I'll go to the side so you can kind of see that a little better. So sideways. Now the biggest thing with this stretch is we all seem to have hyperextensive elbows, so a little micro bend there is perfect. And just maybe swaying side to side so you can feel into the two different muscles that attach. Now a big part of this is each individual finger has a different attachment to the muscles. So as you sway side to side, you'll be going to a different part of the fingers and getting a little bit deeper, and maybe you're a little bit more stuck on the outer near the thumb or near the pinky. And you just keep your breath going. So the breath is super important in yoga. It's part of calming the mind. And mind and body is related. So once you've done those a few times, we'll come to another one. Now there is so many ways of doing this stretch, but the safest and best way is just grabbing your arm out and running your hand down and grabbing the fingers along the way and curling them under. Now you should feel that at the top of the wrist, and this is where a lot of RSI or carpal tunnel kind of builds up. But if this is tight, then your grip strength is gone pretty much. So just breathing into that. Now I like to actually rotate the elbows. I call it a little bit of the alien elbow twist, like when you do as a kid. But You could keep it stable if it doesn't feel right for you. So just breathing into that and holding each stretch for a minimum of 20 seconds. If you hold it too quick, then it ends up doing the reverse of what you wanted it to do. So you keep holding it. Now, I like to hold them for a minute usually, but 20 seconds is okay. And then you give it a little shake and then you come to the other side.
It's called patience. That's why we're going to have like golf.
Yeah, so we wanna try and do it while, keeping some music going, good jams, lock the door, keep the kids out, sort of thing. So from there, we'll kind of come into a cat-cow position. So we'll plant our hands shoulder width apart and spreading the fingers wide. Now, that is one of the most important parts of putting any weight on your hands, is spreading the fingers so that it doesn't jam up into the wrist. It takes it into the whole entire arm strength. And from there, we have our knees stacked under, and it's just simple cat-cows, arching the back and pressing the floor away. And when you press the floor away, you really want the upper back to round, so the shoulders caving in and the chest pulling in. And then you find the chest pulling down as you arch and look up. And I won't go to too many of those, but you kind of get the drift. And that just helps with mobility into the spine. And then we'll come into thread the needles. So for thread the needles, you just find one hand planting down and the other rises up. And this opens up the whole entire chest line. And as you feed the arm through, it goes into the shoulder blade and a little bit of the rotators, what you use a lot when you're swinging in golf. And you can either do it mobility, as in keep going in movements, or you can stay static depending on how you're feeling and how intense it is for you. Nice. And I won't repeat the other side, but it's basic enough as it is. It's just threading the needle and finding the weight into the back of the shoulder. And so the rest of it, we'll start to just do basic glute strength, because with glute strength, you have the stability to stay stationary, and we want to find that stability in the sacrum. So we'll just do a simple bridge pose with our feet shoulder width apart, and then we start to lie down. Now from here, for having the fingers
just walking around,
ankles, having the fingers tickle the ankles. That's just so you know they're in the right position. And from there, you start to tuck the tailbone underneath, and you'll feel your glutes start to work as you rise the hips up. And from there, you walk your shoulders in and attempting to clasp the hands. If it doesn't happen, that's okay, using the elbows like robot arms. And this is just opening up the front of the hips, hip flexors, while engaging those glutes. So it's good to stay for as long as you can, or 5 breaths, and 5 long breaths, not little hyperventilations. So we want to find that space between the chest, and it's a little bit of a chest opener. So I like to press into my heels like you're trying to drag yourself down the room. And then as you feel like you're ready, you lower down. And just a quick squeeze of the knees into the chest. And from there, we'll go into a few twists. So you can come into tabletop, open the arms out. Now, depending on your rotation, we'll just do it gently. So bringing the knees over to your right or left. And usually there's a little bit of cracks in there for most. And then we'll bring them back up. Nice and controlled. And then bring them over to the other side. And you might feel like it's a little bit of massage on the hips as you move over. And just continuing that like clockwork, trying not to let the hips drop down or the shoulders lift off the floor. So only go as far as those shoulders stay glued down. And just do about 10 reps of those, so 5 on each side. And that should be enough for you guys. If you do feel that you need some more shoulder work or anything else, there's so many tutorials on YouTube as well.
We'll have to get Kim to do some more for us.
But you can always demand it in the comments box and stuff,
exactly.
So we can always do some more for you. But that's basic enough to get you a little bit more mobile and a little bit more solid.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. So do you think they should be doing this every day?
Yeah. Every day. You can do it in your bed, most of those exercises. So I actually do it in bed before I wake up. My boyfriend hates me for it. But it saves you from a lot of pain and neck stiffness and stuff. So
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you soon. Take care. Well, how'd you find that? We'd actually just done a yoga class that morning, and I organised with her if she'd, do it after. So we were both a bit hot and sweaty from the yoga class, but that was great, wasn't it? You actually had some mobility exercises that you could then run with. So that's fantastic. So what you need to make sure that you're doing them, like Kim said, do them every day. Don't just do them before you go and play golf. Probably only take you 10 minutes if that, but you've got to get the body moving, okay? It's all about getting the body moving. If we can get the body moving, then you can get that golf swing actually happening, okay? Really important. So if you found that you got a lot of value out of today's video, I'd love it if you could share it with your friends, and you know that they'd get some value out of the video as well and getting those exercises. If you would love to leave a comment down below and share with me what you like best about what you heard today, that would be absolutely awesome too. And I've actually left a list of destinations or locations where you can find Kim doing her yoga teaching throughout the week, where she's running her classes. So if you're in that area, make sure that you go and do a class with her. She's absolutely great. I love what she does. She's quite technical. She makes sure you get your positions right so that your body's really benefiting. So, like I said, you know, but doing yoga before, for me, for the last 18 months, made a big difference for my body. I don't feel as stiff. So I'd actually recommend that you do that too. And but in the meantime, while you're doing those exercises, remember, all we got to do is tee it high, let it fly. Love to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.